Hello, Luxies. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, 2025. It's crazy, Cat. How are we already here in 2025? 2024 just went by.
I
Um,
know, it's crazy.
so if you're new to this live show, welcome. Both Kat and we do this podcast, I suppose, every single weekend. We've been doing it for what, going into 4 years now? Or is it
Yeah.
since the
Did you
pandemic?
put, I don't remember if I asked you, did you put the new emojis?
I
We'll do
did.
it. Oh, great. Okay.
I did.
Yes.
So, I was gonna talk about that at the end of our slides. So we are sharing slides today because we're gonna talk about our New Year's luxury mindset. We will
Uh-huh.
revise, kind of review what we had last year, and then we're gonna talk about the new ones. And so, yeah, we have some slides for you guys. And yeah, please feel free to also share if you have any, 2025 resolution, mindset, however you want to call it, goals, right?
Mm.
So yeah, so it'll be really interesting. I mean, we love doing this kind of show. It's kind of a good review of what had happened last year, what we did good, what we did not so good, but also gives us kind of our mental guideline. I feel like ever since we started doing this, similar to how wish lists work, but even more kind of, these are goal oriented, I would say, actions, right, that we can take throughout the year. And I feel like by having these goals, even if you don't follow it to the T, we kind of somehow achieve some of it, so it's good. I like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you're new to the show, we've been doing that every year. Maybe I'll try to link to last year's one in the show notes so that you can go back to those. I'm gonna let Kat get started first. So here we go.
All right. Thank you. So, wow, I had quite a lot of so like Amy said, it's a good way to put it out there, but it's also kind of like making myself accountable for the things. And I can honestly tell you throughout the year, I was having these. I'm going to put my volume down a little bit. I had these things in my mind, but I have to say, 2024, and I've mentioned this a few times in some of our live streams, it wasn't such a great year for me for a lot of aspects. I think stress, a lot of change happened for me in 2024. Work obviously is a big part of my life. So that definitely impacted how my mindset was. So I did not really do very well. However, like Amy said, I I think it made me more aware. I may not have succeeded, but I'm definitely more mindful of what I want to do. So I feel like it has set, like last year and the year before when we started to do this, it has sort of set the tone on how I want to do, um, so how I want to have my luxury collection. It set the tone of how I want to bring luxury items into my collection. So let me just recap what happened in 2024. Let's go to the next couple of slides. Oh, okay. So for years and years and years, I said, man, I am the worst at budgeting for my expenses. I don't have a retirement plan, but I think by maybe this year I've got to better do better. Okay. So I've never budgeted, and well, it's only me and my husband, right? So we don't, and now I've got a dog. I've got Nato. So I don't really have that kind of mindset compared to, families or, different kind of things. I just don't have that. So I spend whatever I have. I tried to do a budget, and I tell you, it went out the window in January. I think if you watched my jewelry collection, you probably know why. If you didn't watch, go and watch it, and you'll see one item in that collection where I went like, yeah, this happened. So it was downhill right from the beginning. So I feel like budgeting wise did not happen. However, I got better at saying no. So I got better at saying no to my essay, no to things that I really just don't want. So I think that's at least a few steps better than where I was. It's just that the items that I brought in last year were very big ticket items, which were not something that I anticipated. So I think this year, I'm going to try and manage that big ticket items. I also said, in my head, I don't want to buy a lot of things. And I think it was pretty good last year. I didn't buy a lot of things. And I really, truly had one wish list. Nowhere near that. No, nothing, no offer, nada, zilch. So I manifested it, but I guess I got other things, which is great. Then again, I'm still hoping for this. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah. I said, yep, it's time to say goodbye. And yet like it's a long goodbye. It's really hard to break like a really good relationship. But last year, I really felt like I don't have any desire to go to the store compared to the previous years where it's like the chase is there, right? But last year, even though I did go and I did get things, but it was more like I was trying, like a breakup, trying to I don't want to break up, I don't want to break up. It's that wheel that was starting to turn. And towards the end of last year, I just really didn't have any desire. I'm really talking about my local store here. No desire to go to the store. I totally didn't go in December. I was going to go, then I didn't want to go. And then November, I went in just because it was sort of like, go la, go la. So even though it didn't say it was, even though it wasn't a total end in 2024, but yeah, it's definitely coming to the tail's end. It's sort of like one more hurrah maybe in 2025 if I don't get my bag. It's just, I'm tired. Okay, so then for cost per wear, I think this is ongoing. I definitely put some, thought in my head, like, hey, I gotta just wear my things. I gotta just use my things. So most of my stuff that I said I should use, I have put somewhere into it. There are still a few things that I'm struggling with. My constants, it's still really difficult. So hopefully this year, black bags for Chinese New Year. Maybe not. Maybe my birthday this year in March, I'll just take it out and use it. So definitely want to improve the cost per wear. So this is ongoing, and I think I'm doing pretty okay with this. I think I've got one more slide, right? Oh, yes. Oh, definitely can do better with this. Sleep better, wake up earlier. It's an up and down roller coaster. Some days I just bounce out of bed and I'm like, let's go for a walk. But like today, no. Today I woke up at 9. I totally could not wake up. It was raining. It was so nice and cozy. So definitely getting better, but it's still a struggle. Traveling, I wanted to travel more last year, and it was a interesting kind of I manifested it, but it was interesting because I didn't actively look to travel more. In fact, the 3 trips that I put here was because there was an external factor. Bali was my friend saying, let's go. Birthday. And I'm like, and there I was stuck to my seat. Like, I don't want to go. But because it was a birthday, and I was like, yeah, just do it, Kat. Just like, it's almost like forcing me out of my comfort zone. Go. Tokyo was the same thing. My friend said, I'm going. Do you still want to go? And I was like, okay. And then you coming to Hong Kong, I was like, oh, this one I have to go. But if you didn't come, I would totally not have gone. So I feel like I manifested it. And if there was no external pull, I would have just this would not have succeeded. But somehow now that I look back at it, it was great. So this year I do have some plans to keep that momentum. Yeah. But I definitely, based on what I have experienced last year, I need a little bit of external pull. Because I'm not naturally a person to say, I want to travel the world. I'm not. I can sit at home, play my dog all day. So for me to make this successful, it has to be like a buddy system, right? Family, friends, or something.
But that makes sense though.
Okay, let's go into this year. 2025. I had to put this meme because it's literally me at the Hermes store. Like, can I just get my bag? Like, seriously, please. It's been 4 years since I got my Birkin. I have seen people get multiple Birkins over the years, even year after year. But I don't get it. You give me all these other bags, but all I'm asking for is one additional Birkin. And I put my foot down last year. I said, I want my bag. And I still don't get it. I'm like, I'm going to give up this year. So that's a but there. It's been 4 years. But let's go to the next one. I'm manifesting it this year. This is like my luxury wish list. But if it doesn't come, I'm just going to officially forget it. Freaking overpriced. Okay. This year, the price increase is 10%, up to 10% on a Birkin. What? Don't forget, I have to spend 1-to-1 to get this dang bag from the store. And I put this, I feel like I'm competing with too many Bitcoin millionaires because it's just not a fair battle. I cannot be spending that kind of extra money with just because you are delaying my bag. And it's like additional 7,000-8,000 just because I could not get my bag because I have to double up 3 here plus the extra 3 or 4 on the bag. That's like a brand new bag from Chanel. It's like, why would I want to do that? So I'm so frustrated, right? So I really feel like if this year my Birkin doesn't come, I'll just get the bag from the reseller. I saw a really good one. Definitely does not cost 1-to-1. Fantastic condition. Take the money, put into a retirement account, which is why I said sometimes, especially now, this quote here, sometimes the catch is seriously not worth the chase. So to my last year's point about it's time to say goodbye, I feel like this year, it's a bit like, I'm so sad. There's a bit of grief, loss. But now it's a bit like I'm frustrated on top of being upset. If I don't get my bag this year, that's it. I'm just like, that's it. It's not worth the chase. If I really want to get the bag, I can just buy it from the resale market, especially in Singapore. The prices, damn good. Okay, it's so good. The bags are so new. Yeah, that's it. If it doesn't come this year, done. I'm done. Forget about the pre-spend that I put in the store because I do have some expense already, but I feel like I'm again a little bit held hostage to wait for this year's price increase, which is 10%, up to 10%. And I don't even know if the bag's going to come this year. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
Reseller it is. I think reseller totally makes more sense, especially these last couple years. Like last year, this year, I'm sure is continuing the trend because as they increase the price in the retail space, these reseller prices make even more sense, right? Especially if you're going to get exactly what you want when you want. And you've already done, me and you both, we've already done this whole chase. It was all fun and good for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get bored, you get tired. I mean, it's all the emotions. And at one point, it's kind of like there are other priorities in life. So yeah, the reseller space, especially me, after having seen so many, I only went to one store, by the way, in Hong Kong. I went to one store just to play with their bags and to just see what's really like the difference between the stock in one Asia store versus just here. It's night and day. So, I mean,
Right.
if I lived there, I would totally, most likely, be buying. I want to say I would probably do the local store, but just because I still want to buy some things. But I think for bags, instead of waiting constantly and chasing and kind of like praying that your essay thinks of you, Why not just get it from the resale, right? Yeah.
Correct. I think especially this year is going to be the most apparent. Last year, I think the wheel of this shift started where everybody is sort of like, wait a minute, people are dumping their bags post COVID, or after the pandemic. Everybody's having back to their old priorities, not new priorities, back to their old priorities, right? Whether it's travel, you want to buy your car, you want to do your renovation for your house. So all that extra spare cash, there isn't any. So whatever Hermes can milk, and yes, they did, I don't think they can do that as much anymore. But they still have this whole mindset like, oh my gosh, if you can't afford it, don't buy it. Which is why I said we're fighting with this Bitcoin millionaires, because it is, you can't fight it. You can't fight it. So that's probably where the market's gonna be. And if you're gonna jump into it right now, it is too intense. You can't have that kind of money so fast, so much, and so often. Therefore, the resale market, because everybody's bought all these things and they're dumping it now, they're looking to recoup at least the price of the bag plus a little, right? Plus a little. Nobody, unless you're going to get the brand new bag, is going to ask for 1-to-1 in the resale market now. You buy a brand new bag now, you take your bag, you times 2, and you put it in the resale market, your bag's going to sit there. Okay, it's going to sit there. So you'll probably have to take a loss on your item if you get it from the store now. Loss in the sense that all the things that you had to pre-spend. So the resellers, especially here in Singapore, a lot of the bags are spanking new, full set. Okay, like if I were to sell, let's talk about my bag, my Hermes Kelly 25 gold on gold. I'm gonna dump it full set, right? And you guys know I hardly use that bag. That bag's not selling for very much. It's selling, I think it's going for what, 25,000 Singapore dollars. It's reselling at what? It's retailing at what? 19,000 in the store. The math is not. It doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna do this last hurrah with the store, since I have already bought stuff in 2024. It's gonna flow over to this year because I haven't received it. And that's it. I can't be dumping any more cash there. And if I don't get my bag, I'm done. And I'll just wait it out, put my priorities, and then just buy it from the resale market. Because yeah, I'm done working for the brand. I'm tired. I feel like it's that frustration, right? It's the frustration of the wait, and the fact that as a longer, not long term, I mean, the 20 years, not 20 years with Hermes, but as a decent customer to the brand, I really feel like I'm fighting a chase that is continuously uphill. So my first wish list, first focus in the head. Okay, this one's a little bit more like, this one I put grateful, of course, in everything that I do, but since we're talking about luxury things, last year when I said, hey, I want to improve my cost per wear, I want to use my things, and I always say that I'm grateful, but I always think maybe I don't actively practice that I am grateful. I don't know. I'm still figuring this out. I feel like I say, I'm very grateful for everything. We're thankful. I'm so happy I have all these things. I always have so many bags, but I always feel like I'm always looking out for the next bag. So with the comment before, this last bag, I feel like that's the stop. I just don't want to buy any more things. I want to pause. Don't want to chase anymore. And then just totally use everything. And I guess it's be grateful. Not to say I'm stopping myself from buying, and I'm not saying I'm doing a low buy this year, but take a pause for a moment to say, hey, why am I constantly chasing for the next item and saying, oh, let's need this new bag, this new thing, this new pair of shoes, this new jewelry, etc. When I take a step back and I look, hey man, I have so many of these things. Am I actually grateful for the stuff that I already collected over the past 20 years, which are sitting pretty at the back? So my mindset this year is I really want to be grateful for the entire luxury collection that I have, and to show the gratefulness, I want to use it. I really want to use it. I want to put some dents into it. So my constants, despite everything, I am going to use it. I'm going to dent it. And yeah, enjoy them. They are things. So in a way, my wish list for 2025 is this one and only bag. It's like truly, of course, there could be things that are offered to me over the year. Let's see. But if I want to be honest with myself, if I'm just going to say, hey, I'm really grateful I have this fantastic 16, 17 bag collection with tons of jewelry and shoes, the sitting pretty, I want to use it. I want to say I'm grateful and I'm really enjoying everything. So I'm going to actively practice gratefulness in 2025 and not constantly be looking out for more and more and more.
I know what you mean when you explain it, but when I first saw this, I was thinking you can still want things even though you're grateful, though. Does that make sense?
I agree.
Yeah.
I am grateful that I can afford more things. But then I think, have I even enjoyed the stuff before? I'm grateful for them, but I feel like it's such a fleeting gratefulness. Oh, I'm grateful I got it, and at the side. And it just feels like, yeah, it doesn't feel like it's a continuous gratefulness. It just feels very short-lived. Get the bag, very happy. Oh my God, I'm so grateful that I got this. I can afford it, blah, blah, blah. Put it in the bag. And then I'm out again. I'm out again looking for the next thing. But then I sort of forgot, hey, I could have afforded this. How come I did not fully utilize it? So I feel like, yes, I am grateful, but I'm not really diving deeper into that gratefulness. I'm just having that surface level, like, oh, I'm grateful, yay, I can afford it, very happy for that moment, and then it parks aside. But I do, when I look back at it, I'm so grateful, but then I'm not really diving deeper into this feeling of just contentment, because I think gratefulness also comes with being content. It's like multiple. I'm grateful, then I just sit there and just enjoy what I have. But I feel like it's not deep. It's very surface. Then I just constantly am always on the lookout. The next wish list. I mean, it's great on a YouTube talking about it. But when I sit back and I ask myself, am I really, really, really grateful? So yeah, I think I'm gonna meditate on this. I don't meditate, but I'm gonna really think about it. So I tie it together with just hoping for one bag and not constantly say, hey, what's my bigger wish list? I tried it last year. It worked a little bit. Then I got distracted again and again. So let's see how I work this year. So let's see.
I guess I'm just wondering what would make you, like, I know you're saying like actively practice as in like you're gonna use your things, but like is that what's gonna take just from you using your things to feel more content and not have the impulse to buy more? Again, not saying that it's a bad thing, because I obviously don't have a problem with buying more things. It's more like I'm just wondering if like, so do you know what I mean? Like if gratefulness is not really what the word I would use. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think you're grateful, but I just wonder, like how, like when you like if you say that you don't feel that grateful if you're not really using your things, that almost feels like, is that really though? Because you could be
no. So what I'm saying is sort of like so I'll cut you off. So I do say I'm grateful, and I know I'm grateful, but I don't know if I'm actively practicing gratefulness. Like so I don't really know how to practice gratefulness. Like and so therefore I'm saying, okay, could this be the way where I actively use my things, and when I'm using my things, I don't feel the urge to always want more and then be more
Okay.
content. So I'm just sort of figuring it out. Like, how do you, like, if anybody knows, how do you practice gratefulness? Like, some people say, I'm grateful, then I do community service. But yeah, I mean, I'm talking about luxury, right? So gratefulness, actively practicing it, I'm not sure, right? So I say it, and I think in my heart, I know I am, but I always feel like I'm not satisfied. Like, so it's almost like, why am I always hunting more and more things when I'm being blessed with so many things and so much opportunity, but I'm always like, oh, not enough, not enough, not enough. So I don't know where is that bridge between the feeling and the always feeling lack of. So the bridge here is what I'm trying to figure out. So I'm thinking that maybe if I start using my stuff more and just being content with that, hey, I've got all these things already. I love them. They suit what I thought they would suit.
Yeah.
And if I'm not hunting for more things, then I feel like I've ticked off one thing, like, I get it now. I don't know.
Okay. Got it. All right. Let's.
Okay. So it also ties with this. Damn it. No distractions. No distractions. I'll use so I say, okay, everything, right? Everything's so expensive. Everything's not so great. Resale is not the best. Like, resale as in I'm selling the stuff. So I really want to focus on what I want to add and what I need to add. Like, do I really need it? So I don't really need my Birkin, but I want it, and I'm going to put that out there. And if I see other things, do I really, really need it? I really need it. And we're only in the second week of the year. There is going to be a ton of distractions in 2025. Already the beginning of the year, 3rd of January, the first distraction came already, right? LV Murakami collection. Oh my gosh. They have been pumping the ads like crazy. I was with Joe, and I was like, I was on the app, like, I've added it to cart, but I'm going to stop myself. I'm going to stop myself. Will my power. And then I played around with it, and it got sold out. And I said, oh my God, thank God, universe. Thank God. Because that would be my first failure of 2025. So I'm going to try my best this year to say no to distractions, and then say, hey, Kat, you have a huge collection at the back. Be grateful. Okay, you don't need this bag. So I'm going to tie them together. It is challenging because I love limited edition. I love LV's collections. There are some really fun things. But I'm going to try my best to say no to distractions. I'm also going to try and say no to new brands, because distractions are also, say, I don't know, new brands as in new contemporary brands, like some things that pop up. I'll give you an example, like let's say let's say Pauline, yeah, don't get angry, yeah, but say Pauline comes to my life, and then I see something really funky, really interesting, and I'll get distracted, like, oh, I don't mind trying this new brand, but do I really need it again? And then affordability is also another one. So one distraction that I had last year was Tocco Toscano. I did I bought 2 bags from there. One that I'm actively using, it became a doggy bag, but one that I used for a little bit and then I'm not using it anymore. So again, money gone down the drain, right? Distraction. Not a lot, but it can stack up quite quickly. So jewelry also would be another one. So the 2, I'm going to try my best. I should stick this on my wall or something. Cut this out and stick this on my wall.
How about just sticking the picture of the Birkin, because you have one goal and one only.
Right.
If it's not
right.
then
So,
there's no need. Yeah. To consider.
What is that thing that people do? I always see on Instagram, vision boards.
Yeah.
I have never tried a vision board. Maybe I'll stick one at the back. And every day I walk into the room and I'll be like, Birkin. Maybe. If any of you use vision boards, please comment in the chat. And how do you, like, does it work for you? How do you make it work? Why does it work? I like to know, because I've been seeing IG reels about people saying, oh, my vision board for 2024, this ticked off, that ticked off. I was like, maybe I need a vision board. Have you ever tried doing a vision board?
Me, no, but I know what it is. It's sort of like a daily reminder. This is what you are striving to achieve this year. And so it also helps with, I think it helps with distractions, because if it's not the thing, then why are you even looking at it? And because distractions kind of add to what your wish list already is, right? Your wish list could be very small, very big, however it is, right? But it's a finite amount of things, or finite few things. And because these new things can come in throughout the year, not to say that you can't like new things, but it is distractions. It is kind of like derail from achieving your main goals. And is it always a bad thing? No, but sometimes resources are not like, they're not infinite, right? So it means staying focused. And I think having a vision board helps you see it like every day, right? You're literally not just visualizing in your head, you actually see it every day.
I think, yeah, maybe I'll need a vision board, because I rearranged this room.
Just a picture.
And now the way
picture.
Yeah, and I have a printer, which y'all cannot see at the bottom. So I'll buy some ink today, and I will zap it out, and then we'll paste it here. Every day I'm working, I'm like, Birkin. But I think it might, I don't know. So I will read I can't see the chat now, but I'll read the chat later. Yeah, so I like some tips if any of you are using it. Do you like, does it have to be very specific vision board? But yeah, maybe I need to stick this whole thing. No, the distraction, just slap it there for 2025. Then we will revisit in half year, see whether the vision board work or not.
Yeah.
I think I have one more slide, if I'm not mistaken. Oh. Yeah. Self-care. Self-care needs to be a little bit more specific. I think I wanted to do some self-care, and 2024 was challenging, okay, to say the least. Many times I thought, I actually questioned my being. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? never asked myself this kind of question, but I definitely did several times in 2024. And then I took up a really bad habit of drinking during the weekdays. It started off with just a little bit, like just after class, with my dinner, and then it just went every day, up to a point where I felt a little sick in the morning. Like I'm not drinking like this, but it's just a cup. It's just a cup. But I think because it's every day for the year, I started to feel it. Oh my goodness. I felt it in my joints. I felt it in my sleep. So I'm just putting this out there, but I've started to do this. I don't drink during the weekdays anymore. There's the exception. If let's say a public holiday falls on a weekday, then I'll be like, if I'm out, then I'll be like, okay lah. But otherwise, I have a really strict rule that I don't drink during the weekdays. And I've been doing this for the past 2 months with those little exceptions. But other than that, it's been good. Like today's Sunday. Today's Saturday is like a little reward, for the day. Like, okay, I'll have one. And I do control just one. And it's definitely helped with my sleep. I'm not going to do the whole no to alcohol. I'm sorry. I do like my little drink. It's just that I think I went overboard. I went overboard with making it a habit, which is something that I'm not pleased with myself, because it impacts the rest of my self-care. So this is definitely something for 2025. But of course, if you see me on a weekday and it's a public holiday, I'll have a drink with you.
That's great, babe. What's your drink of choice, by the way? Is it gin?
It's gin.
Gin, so what do you mix it with?
Tonic water. So what I'll do is I'll make a little concoction. I'll sit there. I'll put a couple of ice. I'll put like because I have a standard glass, right? I don't go more than that. So it'll be like my
Yeah.
gin, it'll be lime juice, and then it'll be soda water. And I'll sit there, I'll sip it. The whole, I'll be like, and then I will be really tempted to make another one. But if I had a rough day in 2024, I definitely took 2 or 3. But if not, it's
Mm.
just one, and I'll sit there and I'll look at my dog. I'll just be sipping it. But I think because I got used to it as well, like towards say like August, I think my drinks got stronger. So
Mm.
which is why I really started to feel it. And I was like, you know what, this is no good. This is firstly, I'm adding sugar into my life. Secondly, I'm adding alcohol. So some of the mornings I will wake up feeling like, oh, I don't feel so good. Even though it's one drink, right? Yeah. So, no, no more. No more. And I mean, I've started. So it's okay. I'm just adding it here. Accountability.
Yes, yes, yes. I like this goal. I definitely do. I don't really drink. But just like you said, I think the last time I had a drink was probably with you guys.
Mm.
Yeah, because we went out on the meetup, on the members meetup, and then at night we went to the hotel bar, right? So that was I think that was the last time I had a drink. And
Mm.
because I'm not, I really like I'm not a drinker. I'm not used. I can drink. I'm not gonna get tipsy or anything if it's just one drink. But it really affects my body. Like I can feel it in the joints right away. And so I know what you mean by it affects your joints because it does.
It does. It does. Yeah,
Alcohol
yeah,
is
yeah.
considered,
I mean,
a poison. I mean, it's
I'm
a
in my
poison that we
40s,
all
right?
love, but still a poison.
I'm in my 40s. Like in my 20s, my 30s, man, wow, no problem. Okay, can drink all night, all day. Next day work, wow, work, and it's like wow, so good.
But you
But
didn't do it every
definitely in
day,
my
did
late
you?
30s. Sorry.
Did you do it every day
Oh, yeah. In my
back
20s.
then?
Okay, in my 20s. Yeah,
Oh,
in my
because
20s,
we have
we used to have this thing called uh hum night. Hum day or hum night. So it's basically in the middle of the week, so Wednesday, where you reach
Wednesday.
over that work hum, then we go out, okay? Okay. And it's not gin, okay? It's like whiskey and whatever. And I could
Oh,
no
wow.
problem, okay? Obviously I'll smell reeking of alcohol the next day. But I guess it's also the work environment that I was in. We were in
Mhm.
consulting, and everybody drinks. Okay, everybody drinks.
I
So
see.
of course, then I tapered down in the 30s, like my early 30s. I didn't drink on the weekdays so crazy. But then when weekends come rolling, wow, it's like it's definitely not one drink a night. Okay, it's like whole night long. That's the thing that we did. So I I think my tolerance of alcohol is actually quite high. I can drink. And it's not that I
Mhm.
feel like, but I feel it's taking a toll. So, I just
Mm.
don't feel so good. And with my dog, I got to wake up bouncing out of bed. So I feel like priorities have shifted. I still like it and I'm not
Yeah.
going to stop. I don't think I'm ever going to stop unless I need to,
Yeah.
but it's a different shift. And I want that clarity in the morning. So,
Mhm. Oh, I
oh
like
yeah.
that. I like that. Well, good luck in continuing to do that. I like that. Okay, thank you so much, Kat. So, like Kat, let's revisit my last year's mindset goals. So, unlike Kat, I used most of my pictures. She used more stock pictures. But so last year I had 4 main goals, and also I want to say for me it's about refining my goals. Like you said, be more specific. And so I feel like the prior year 2023 there were similar goals, and then they were refined for 2024, and this year I want to go further. So in terms of my wardrobe, I said last year that I wanted to concentrate mostly on buying quality pieces and only when I need it, and basics. So basics could mean they're neutrals, but also just like no too much bells and whistles and all that stuff. I also had a fine jewelry goal. I wanted no more costume jewelry in my life. In fact, I decluttered so much of my costume jewelry. And I also told myself that because fine jewelry is such a big investment, I want to have basically one true wish list or one big serious piece. Doesn't have to be like big in the sense of like size, but like a serious wish list. And so that was the goal. And then in terms of handbags, I wanted to stay within the 20 bags, stay within the neutrals, because neutrals always work and they never become like, like a mistake or something like that. And stick with a simple wish list. And one of my sort of lifestyle and also kind of like health goal was to just make one small improvement each day. So but by trying each day, because 1% better each day kind of accumulates to many, many percentage, right, throughout the year. Now, of course, you're going to have off days, but that was my main goal because I have several different health challenges, which affects my daily like sleep and just like my mobility. But I thought to myself, you know what? I keep saying I want to improve my sleep, but it's not working. How do you improve your sleep anyway, right? So I decided to change my goal and make it into let's just put on my exercise outfit every day, because by doing so, just by putting it on, I'm more likely to at least do something with it. Like I'll either go for a walk or go to a gym, do something with it. Even if it's 5-10 minutes, I'll more likely to act upon it once I have my outfit on. I'm not even saying you have to like do however long exercise. I'm just saying just put it on. Just put on that outfit. So how well did I do? So in terms of my wardrobe, it's okay. It's not a total fail, but there were some things that I didn't do well. For example, I said I should stick to basics, but then I ended up buying some pretty busy printed jacket, like the one that I mentioned in my worst purchases, the Hermes one. It's a really nice jacket. I actually really like the fit and everything, but I think the print is a little bit too busy for me, so therefore I haven't worn it that much, and I don't really grab for it. I don't want to grab for it. And I think that was, sort of a fail basically, because it's pretty expensive, right? So I should really stick to just basics, right? It not only is because that color is neutral, but it's not, the print itself is not basic enough. The sandals, the Hermes sandals, the Helia sandals that I also showed in my worst purchases, never worn them. Never worn them. Are they basics? Yes, very basic. They're beige. They are a suede. They are pretty comfortable when I try them on. But why do I not wear them? I think the style itself was maybe not suitable for me. I will still try to wear them when summer comes. This year, I'll really make an effort. I just hope that it's not going to end up being a sandal that, I just chose the wrong style. Therefore, it's either not practical for me to walk in them or to wear them. Because although it is a neutral, it also doesn't always mean that it will work out, right? So I also need to be more mindful as to what I buy, not buy just because it's a pre-spend and it counts. It only counts for the bag, but then if I don't use these things, then it's still a waste. Another fail, maybe not a fail, but like I definitely had my temptations, like Kat was saying, distractions. Uh, there were many, but it's an internal struggle, and I don't know. Like Kat said, I don't know how else to combat, especially when it comes to if I know that a price increase is coming. You hear about them, right? It always makes me kind of itch to buy something, even though I don't need it. One of my rule last year was that I only should buy when I need it. Buy when you need it, buy only quality pieces, and buy only basics because those work. But when I don't need it and I still itch to buy, that's bad. So yeah. Gotta
The
work more
distractions is
harder.
the one, right? It's the big one because we're just starting the year. So there is
Yeah.
going to be not even a prediction. It is written in
I
in the
know.
future. There's gonna be a lot of distractions. It's coming. So how do we like fend them? It's so hard, and the distractions are so varied. price increase, new item, blah blah blah, limited edition. Oh, discontinued. That's a bad one as well.
I know, I hate it. I mean, that's the last one I had to add because we did these slides just recently, right? And the price increase FOMO for me really did happen. Like it was a total fail. I wasn't supposed to go, but I told myself like I want to just beat the price increase. And so of course I found things I liked. They were all nice. And then the thing is like you walk away with thousands less in your wallet and you're like, what did I just do? You know, and that was just the end of the year. And like literally I was good until the end of the year. And that was just like, oh well. I guess there will be some unboxings. But you know what I mean? Like I was trying so good, like so good throughout the year. Only bought when I needed. Okay, there were a couple of mistakes, you know, as choice-wise wasn't the best. But you know, like and then the last couple days of the year, why? Like why? Like I could have just waited and then, you know, maybe then the FOMO will just go and then I might not have to spend that money. But anyway. Is it always
Yeah, it was
bad to
hard.
spend money?
December was
No.
hard, especially if you're Hermes, right? December
Yes.
is hard because you know, the
Yeah.
moment that clock tips to 1st January, it's boom, 10%.
Yeah.
You know, you mentally know. So I had the same struggle. It's just that I already did my purchase. So it was like I was like out of the system. But December is a tough month for H. Okay. It's not like Chanel or LV where the it's more of a rush and it's a rush and random months, right? Sometimes November, sometimes May, sometimes June, don't know when. But
Mhm.
December, everyone knows it's December. So it's an extended 31 days of like, should I go? Should I go? Should I go?
That one kills me. I still like I had to put
Sucks.
it in the like I failed because of this because I have to remind myself to stop doing that, you know? Stop doing it. There will always be price increases. That is the problem. You'll never beat it anyway. So
True.
okay. Fine jewelry. How did I do? I think I did okay. Said last year that my one big wish list for the year, other than the earrings, was I was also contemplating the big necklace that I have on this picture. I didn't end up buying it, and I'm okay with it. You know, it's a really nice piece, but it's also a very pricey piece. And at the end of the year, you know, for all the months, I decided that, you know, as much as I love the look, like I love the look so much, even looking at the picture, I just know that, you know, for me, even though they're fine jewelry, the only pieces that I always wear constantly that I really get my cost per wear are my rings and my bracelets. Everything else is on occasion days. So I'm happy that I didn't end up buying the necklace. I did buy the earrings. Um, I like the earrings a lot. Unfortunately, they are a bit thick, the stems for me, and so they do hurt my ears. But you know, it's a smaller, I guess, smaller problem to have because you know the necklace is like 4 times the price of the earrings. But other than that, I also ended up buying the Farhadar ring, the diamond ring, which
Mm.
that was not really plan. I did like it from before. They didn't have stock. But like I said earlier, I mainly wear my rings well, not every day, but when I go out, I do wear my rings. They're literally a thing that I grab before I leave the door. So I'm actually okay with that purchase, even though it was not quite expected. It was not part of my one wish list. And then the silver earrings, they're fine. They're not like I kind of base it on the price that they're fine. I do like them actually, but they do have a slightly thicker stem. So in terms of jewelry, I feel like I always do quite well. I don't do too many big impulse purchases,
Mm.
and I do wear them. So I think I'm okay. And we'll
Yeah.
see what, you know, in terms of jewelry, what I'm gonna, you know, decide this year when I tell you about my 2025 goals. So handbags. Uh, mm, I think you know, like if I went by the points, right? Roughly 20 bags in my collection, staying all neutral, stick with a simple wish list. I did all of that. I truly did. but did I really feel like I did a good job? I feel like I did, except that I did have some internal struggles. They felt like big obstacles for me, because there were so many times where I felt like, oh my gosh, I have FOMO. I really want to buy it, and I guess I didn't end up having any FOMO purchases, but I just felt like I almost did every time. Like it was an
Mm.
internal struggle, an internal battle. And the other obstacle this year was that because my goal was to stay within the 20 bags, give or take, downsizing this year was very difficult. It was a big challenge because of, the economy not doing so well. And then just like downsizing took a lot of time, and not just time, but also it was also not the best time for me to downsize, I suppose, because a lot of bags lost their value. So I'm happy that I did what I did to keep my goal intact. But it was, yeah, there was a lot of challenges. I felt like I worked really hard to maintain the collection that I really want. And then last but
Mm.
not least, in terms of my lifestyle goals, um, I think I did okay. My it's kind of silly when I didn't know I was going to make a big trip to Hong Kong this year, although, well, as in I didn't know when I was going to Hong Kong. I was definitely looking to plan it. I kept on looking at the flights and, making sure I coordinate with my mom, deciding how long to stay and all of that. But I didn't make the concrete arrangements until July, right? So while I knew I was going to go on a bigger trip this year, I just didn't know when exactly. I knew that I needed to improve my health, because that comes with traveling is very strenuous, right? You're always out and about. I knew I was going to walk a lot more every day in Asia, because you go everywhere by foot. So I needed to really make some health kind of like strengthening of my body. So I knew that I needed to exercise more consistently. And did I put on that exercise outfit? Yes, but not every day. But I was getting more consistent, at least doing it once a week. And so I think I'm going to further this goal this year, like make it more specific, because it is working. I got stronger. I definitely feel like, I can see and feel the changes. And it came in useful because I was able to walk everywhere during the trip, although it was very tiring every day, but it worked out. So I definitely want to keep going with my health. So what are those? Again, I'm going to use mostly my own pictures. In terms of handbags this year, so I'm going to keep it, quite simple, adding on to what I had last year in terms of goals. So I'll always want to stay around the 20 handbag goal. If it goes too much beyond that, that means some things have to go. But what I want to focus more on this year is I want to add neutrals that are not black. Like seriously, stay away from black bags for once. This is my goal this year. Like I might try to say no to black bags unless it's like, I don't know, if it's an exotic somehow, really nice, whatever, special edition, blah, 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 and I really like the bag, I might say yes, but I really want to just move away from black for once and maybe add more creams, more like light grays and metallics. And similar to last year, the same wish list. Similar to Gat, I also didn't really get an offer last year. I mean, the Constance was the only offer. If you even consider a Constance an offer, if you don't consider that an offer, it's not even an offer. So I didn't really get any offers last year. Therefore, I still have the same 2 serious wish lists in my books that I had the same last year, and it's the same ones this year. But regardless, I want to stick to light colored bags. Just like the one that I got here, the Kelly 28. You know what? Although the size is a bit big, but I absolutely love the color, which is why I fell in love with it. It's so beautiful to look at. So yeah, my main goal this year is don't look at black bags. Don't look at black bags and stick with the
Tomorrow we have a members live where we're gonna talk about luxury offers that is gonna be super hard to resist. I haven't seen your slides. but I'm sure there's gonna be a black bag in that slot.
Did I put a black bag? I don't know if it might be close. Like it might be a darker color. You know, I say stay away from black bags because what other black bags can I actually get?
I
I'm
know
not gonna
what you
get another
mean.
Birkin Kelly in black. I already have those. I just got the Kelly Nano in black as well. Like, what else can I possibly need in black? I don't need another black bag.
What
Therefore,
if they offer you a black Birkin 25 but palladium hardware?
oh my gosh, you're killing me now. But it's too similar. Just offer me a white one. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be like you're gonna be sitting in the store staring at the bag
That's gonna
like,
be pretty
how
hard
am I
to say
gonna
no
walk
to.
away from this bag?
No, it's true.
Anyway,
That
that's for
would be so
tomorrow.
hard
If
to
you're
say no
members,
to
we're gonna have
because
some laughs.
it's a different look. It's a totally different bag. I know hardware is like silly to say like it's the same bag, but it's different hardware. It's totally different look. But um I will have to just not ask for those. Like, you know what I mean? I just want something different because I will
It's
never let
hard.
go of my current, perfect black bag collection in a sense of like all the quota bags I have right now, they're all awesome and perfect. But I do need some light colors here and there, like there are times where I feel like I had to change my outfit because it didn't go with the bag and I wanted to wear a
Mhm.
light color outfit and it's such a struggle because I'm like, "Oh, I like to have something to match with the outfit." And because it didn't go well with it, I changed my outfit because of that. And that's sort of, I want to have light bags, lighter color
Yeah.
bags to go with more light
I think
outfits,
black black is really neutral. Like it's like how can you get more neutral than black? But black can be quite serious in sometimes like you wear beautiful, like flowy, light colored, say yellow or some sunflower
Mhm.
color dress, then you wear a black bag. It's like it,
I know.
I mean it works. I'm
I
not saying it
mean,
doesn't work, it will go.
it
But
does.
it would not bring the lightness to the entire outfit, right? Because the black just sort of
Yeah.
like locks it down to the ground.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I really love my black bags. I think it's so sleek when you wear a monochromatic gray or black outfit. It's so nice. And I do get more use out of black bags, which is the whole reason why I wanted to get black first. But now that I have all the black bags I need more white bags now. Light white or gray or
Mm,
metallics. I'm open to all those. Beige is
okay.
a little bit more tricky for me because it depends on the shade of beige. If it's too much yellow, it can just kind of not work with my skin tone. So that will just be something I won't even contemplate. I'll just say light colors, but probably white is the best or light gray. Those would be the kind of like my choice. And I also put a last point here. I said only Chanel and Hermes. So now I want to just explain this point here because I feel like for me, I'm not, I don't want to ever say I'll never buy a bag that is not Hermes or Chanel. Like I'll never say that. Obviously, that's crazy because I might end up liking something new throughout the year. I don't want to deprive myself. But my point is, I think by just focusing on just the two brands that I truly love and truly love buying and using, I eliminate distractions. Like you said earlier, right? Like by not having all these wish lists and all these brands and all these like limited edition that you see yourself wanting and buying, by just focusing on like very specific goals, it makes it so much easier. So yeah, we'll see. Same wish list as
Mm,
last year, just not black. That's it. Okay. Clothes. I also want to just, same goals as last year, buy basics, buy neutrals, buy what works, but only when you need it. Don't buy it when you don't need it. That's definitely same goals. But I also want to make it more like light color palette this year because I definitely have a lot of dark clothing already. I have more clothing than anyone would ever need in their life. I guess because I do live in a country that has 4 distinct seasons, therefore I need all the clothes for different weathers. Which explains why I have a lot of clothes, but nevertheless, I want to buy more light neutrals because I have a lot of fun wearing light neutrals. In fact, the other day, even though it was pouring outside, it was cold, pouring, I could drive, of course, but when it's pouring, you just don't feel like wearing light colors. But that day, I just didn't really want to care. I was like, you know what? I feel like wearing all white today, which I did. So in a way, I'm kind of proud of that. Like I wanted to wear white, I did. It was pouring. Was it the ideal thing to do? No, but it was fine. I just, had to bring my umbrella, wear some rain boots, and just deal with any splashes. I can just hand wash whatever that I get splashed on, but it's fine. Also, another thing I wanted to add this year is no more limited edition. So last year I said, I not even last year, the previous year I said buy no more of the high street or limited edition is my only exception. That was what I said before. Like I still buy Uniqlo here and there, the very, very occasional Zara,
Mhm.
I don't think I bought Zara last year, except I did buy some Uniqlo and they were collabs. They were limited edition collabs. And you know what? This year I'm gonna say no to them because this
Mm.
is how many times they do collabs anyway? They do it all the time. They sometimes have like the same company collabing with them 2 or 3 times in a row, and I just feel like, didn't they just do it in September and now it's March and they're doing it again? Like that just feels so often, and I just have too many. Even with the collabs, I gave myself the exception to buy, but I say no more. I
Mm.
actually don't need it, so why am I buying more? Just because they're limited edition. It makes you go crazy when it says limited edition. So no more, no more, no more exceptions. So yeah, stay focused with just neutrals and only buy when I need. That's really essentially what I think that's gonna narrow down to what I end up buying, right? Like if I have a need and especially if I need it right now, then yes, I can buy it. Otherwise, do not buy it. Just wear what you have. I have more than enough clothes and shoes and all of that forever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Uniqlo. I think Uniqlo, even though you're saying this as your goal, I think for me, it has become like hygiene factor for me because I used to just I love their collabs like Doraemon, Hello Kitty, but
yeah,
I know I did not um put it out there in my head, but I sort of did just to stop, especially in the past couple
yeah,
of years because it's like nonstop. How many
it's
Doraemon?
nonstop.
I love Doraemon, but I mean, I haven't even worn the one from 2 seasons ago or 2 collabs ago with the same thing. So after a while, it can get really overwhelming. Their collabs, Uniqlo does a lot of it. They do it with JW Anderson. They do it with obviously all the Sanrio
Yeah.
characters, and it goes on and on and on. After a while, it's a bit much. So yeah, great. Can you just how many Doraemon shirts can you buy? At least
Exactly.
for
So
me.
for you, it's Doraemon. For me, it's the Cause collabs. I have so
Oh,
many. I didn't realize because Cause, I didn't initially like it. It's my husband
yeah,
who liked
Cause
it,
has
but
a lot. I think like 4 or 5 so
he
far.
Cause does so many collabs with them. Like I said, I really just felt like they did it in the fall, and then all of a sudden they had it in spring, and I was just like, didn't we just buy a bunch? And on top of that, sometimes I bought double because I thought, oh, they're so limited. If this one gets screwed up, then I have a backup. No, no more. You don't need doubles, and you don't need even more limited edition of the same collabs, even though they look different every time, but they're the same clothes. No, there's like I don't I feel like I filled up my drawer space with all these new t-shirts and sweatshirts that, like you said, some of them I haven't even worn. And the collab buying started even before last year, before 2023, before that. And so it's accumulated since then. And although I do sort of wear it, but like no more. I mean, unless they break down, I have to throw them away and I want to replace it. I think that would be the only exception. But even then, no, I have other clothes I could wear instead. I should just wear my beautiful clothes and just dress up instead and whatever, you know, like just wear what I have already. I have enough clothes. But again, I'm not saying no to clothes, but I will only buy when I need it. I think that's the main thing for me. Buy only when I need it. And I want to add more lighter neutrals instead now of always going dark, you know, which, and that's the thing. I love it when I travel because I always end up bringing my favorite clothes. And especially when I travel, I tend to go to warmer destinations. So I always bring my brighter color clothes and I feel so good wearing those things. And if my wardrobe consists of only like a couple of big suitcases filled with my favorite clothes, that would still be enough clothes for me. So I have more than enough clothes. That's what I'm trying to say to myself. So yeah, I honestly could be like no buying, but I think that's also being too restrictive because I think I will still buy some things. But I think buying only when I need is the main key here. Okay, so in terms of jewelry, actually this year I don't have a wish list for any jewelry. I bought this ring. I bought those earrings, 2 pairs of earrings, and I don't have anything else really. And therefore, for my, I guess, jewelry goal this year, other than continue to not add costume, but even for fine jewelry, I don't have anything I want to buy actually. And if there's one thing, and it's kind of at the back of my mind because I've been trying it every time, they just never really have my size. They did have it in Hong Kong, the bracelet that I tried on here. But it was kind of like it made no sense to buy it in Hong Kong when I couldn't really get a bag on top of it. You know, it's kind of like this would only come if it comes with a bag. So it's a big purchase. If I'm gonna buy any jewelry, I will also focus only on jewelry with diamonds because I feel like every time I buy jewelry with diamonds, I just love wearing them. And it just gives me so much more joy. So I might as well just, if I'm gonna buy jewelry, I'm gonna buy diamond jewelry. But at the moment, there's no real wish list. It's just no wish list, no jewelry to buy this year. Okay, in terms of my lifestyle goal, and I have 2 more slides after this. I added 2 more. But in terms of my lifestyle and kind of health goal, I wanted to further expand it. And I said here, I want to get like I want to do or say or you know write 1 W each day. So I have this calendar here. I mean, I actually have 2. I have this Hello Kitty one here in my bedroom, and I have another one in the office. And my goal here, I don't know if anybody does that, but my goal here is to have as many W's each day. So W for me stands for win, and it just is just, you know, kind of easy to put it, scribble it on the day of the calendar. I want to like further my goal of not just putting my exercise outfit on top of putting my outfit. I want to do, you know, at least either one of these things. So either it's a 30-minute stretching, walking, and weight training at the gym, which I think is quite easy to like. It's hard to be motivated because, you know, it's always hard to I don't know, unless you're a cat, I don't get motivated going to the gym. I always feel like, "Oh, I'm gonna be tired, I'm gonna be sweaty, and then I have to take a shower." I just feel like it's a lot of work, but it's the, what's rewarding is, like, the feeling after that. So, for me, I feel like I should just be proud of having done it and not disregard the, you know, the effort that I need to do it, to want to do it, and all that comes with it. So each day I should strive to either go to the gym for even just 30 minutes. It's fine. It's not a lot. Or even go for a walk. And even if I don't want to work out that day, because I do have off days, I have to at least spend 30 minutes decluttering my house. Like I'll just find one area and I'll just start decluttering it. I feel like if I feel I did something productive that day, then I can give myself that W, that win. And I think it'll be nice to just see it on the calendar that you have all these W's every day. I think for Kat, you can put W's every day, but for me, I don't, right? I hardly exercise, so I'm kind of the opposite of you. Not only do I want to be 1% better every day, I want to actually track it and see all these W's on the calendar. So we'll see how well it is. I already
So funny because I'm going to be doing a video soon of my 2025 goal, and
Mhm.
I have a few things that I want to do. One of it, so I can share here, is to drink water.
Oh,
It's
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, I totally put it in, but I didn't like put it in place. So I'm putting that as one of my goals, is to drink water, and I have my can here. So I was thinking, how would I track this? Like, because how do I visually track it? So I've been actually contemplating, do I put it on my computer? Do I put an app? Or like what you are doing, put it on a calendar. And I was
Yeah, just
going, yeah, put
how
it
many cups you
somewhere
drank
that's
in
like,
it.
tick it off. Mine wasn't double, mine was a tick, where I'm saying, damn, I drank my water today. So
Yeah.
it's so funny because I'm telling you, for this, I was actually gonna do something about ticking. Like, did I drink my water today? Did I drink
Yeah,
my
yeah,
water
yeah.
today? Because it is hard for me. Like like you want to say you want to have a win every day. It's just hard. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at my water. Like, I'm like Nato. I'm like my dog. Like, drink water, and she's like, no, I don't drink water.
Well, it kind of just gives, like, if you look, maybe it'll become a habit. If you look at your calendar and you're like, oh, wait, I don't have my tick today, then you have to go and grab that water, you know? So for me, it's going to be like, I hope it'll become self-motivation. I don't know if it'll work. Honestly, I just made this up, right? Like put a W on the calendar every day. I don't know if it'll work, but I want it to work. And I started doing it. It's not every day, by the way, but that's why I said I'm gonna give myself the grace that even if I don't work out on that day, I could just be decluttering. Like I'm doing something at least because I always complain about clutter in my house anyway, right? If I declutter 30 minutes every day, can you imagine how much decluttering that is? That's a lot of decluttering. So you know what? It might work out. So who knows, right? Like I I do feel great when I do go to the gym, and I did buy myself a lot of pretty, like Lululemon this year. There's a couple of aloe as well, and I do feel more motivated when I put on that nice, cute outfit. And so, for me, it's never been about like looking a certain way. Like for me, working out is not to lose weight, is not to I mean, I feel great though afterwards, and I feel better when I sweat a little bit, even though it's so cold right now. Like you have no idea. The other day, I really didn't feel like it because it was so cold, but I did put on the outfit and I did go for stretching, and I did some weights. But I didn't have sweat. I was still cold, but it was just warmer than initially. So it's also a little bit challenging during the winter, which is why I told myself, yeah, I added the decluttering last minute just now before showing the slides, because I thought, you know what, if I didn't walk, like if I didn't go to the gym or if I didn't go outside for my walk, then I'll feel so bad. But I added decluttering because that's still moving around, right? You're moving around the house, you're doing something productive, you're making your space a little bit more livable. So why not, right? That's still something, and that's still moving, not just sitting there watching Netflix. And 30 minutes is really not that much. So it's quite achievable. Like, I also don't want my goals to be so big, like, oh, I need to work out 1 hour every day. That becomes a bit less achievable for me, and I'll be even less motivated to do it. But if it's just 30 minutes, that passes by like nothing. So I we'll see how many W's I get in my calendar and I get to show it to you guys. Uh yeah, we can check back in like 6 months, right? See how many W's I get. Okay, I added two more. I'm gonna call this not budget because it's not really a budget, and I also don't really have a budget. But I thought of this idea because I was thinking, you know what? There's so many times that I have temptations, and I'm really trying hard to not succumb to them. So right now on my phone, on my Lululemon app, and there's many other apps like that, I have stuff in my cart, but I didn't buy it yet. And I keep changing those things in my cart, especially when they're on sale or if it's like a nice color that you want, that you like. Um, but do I really need those items? That's what I'm asking, right? Like, if I don't need those things, I should not be buying it. Only buy it when I need it. So if I can resist every time I have like a cart, but I resist buying it, so that money is technically safe, right? I didn't use it. So maybe I should just put that amount, the equivalent amount, in a savings account just for fun and see how much it adds up at the end of the year. On the other hand, I was also thinking like, what happens if I did impulse buy some things? Because it will happen as well. Then I still have to put that amount in that account. So it's kind of like I already spent it, but then that means I'm just saving more money because, or at least, I don't know if it's saving more. Maybe that's not even the right term, but at least it feels like I'm countering the wrongs that I did. I'm adding back what either did not spend or did spend in an account and just see how much it adds up to. And it'll just be a fun exercise. Um, I feel like it's sort of like something for me to visualize and see how bad it ended up being, or how good actually, is depending on if it's all resist buys or all impulse buys, and we'll see.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and why do I want to do that? Because like I said, I don't really have a budget, right? Like this is really my non-budget budget. I thought it would just be fun to see what it adds up to, and also that will kind of be maybe something that I can use towards the end of the year or whenever I decide to buy my next trip. Because one of the things that definitely was great last year was, I mean, I had two trips last year, one to Hawaii early in the year and one to Hong Kong. The Hong Kong was my big trip because it was quite a long trip. And it was one of my best memories in 2024, hands down. It's my best memory not because of the destination necessarily, although the destination was great, the culture is great. It's my parents' hometown, right? It's technically sort of like where I kind of just blend in. But it was great because of all the time that I was able to spend with friends and family. And that is also because, at the very least, my mom's side of family, all of them are in Hong Kong. They originally come from there, right? So I've always done trips to Hong Kong in the past, but never this long. And so you don't really get the same amount of time to spend with everyone. You just kind of get to know them on a more, how do you say that? Like it's more like a surface level. Whereas this time we've had opportunities to sometimes talk about more kind of like things that are a little bit more deep, So it's such a nice memory. Like for me, the company was the best. Other than also meeting up with Luxee members, meeting with Kat, seeing my friends from high school, all of that is great, but it's the people that makes the difference, right? Not the destination. The destination was great on top of that already. And then the shopping was great. So I want to use either that budget or whatever budget that is, but I want to make every year at least one big experience like that. Because although money cannot buy happiness, it can definitely buy you experiences and you'll make memories out of that. And I think that is something to look forward to. And as I said before, I never have trips planned ahead of time. Like I'm not that kind of planner. For me, it's like when it's the time to do the booking, because either I've been watching the flights or watching like just in terms of timing, how to coordinate with everyone. It just happens and then we just go. So sometimes it's a little bit more spontaneous. So I don't know when and where my next big trip will be this year, but I feel like that's something I want to do every year. It's one big experience per year. So yeah.
Good. Yes. Hong Kong again.
Yeah, Hong Kong would be
Who
nice.
knows, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But
Mm.
yeah, so those were my 2025 goals. There were more, I added a couple just for fun, but like, yeah, they're just more refined goals. And we don't do this every time, but if you're new again to the live show, to this podcast, like I said earlier, both Kat and I, we come here every weekend. So 1 week is on my channel, the next week is on her. We alternate like that. And we also have extra members podcasts
Like
like
tomorrow.
live streams, which tomorrow there's one. And that's where you can join from our channel page. So you just go to the join button right beside the subscribe button, and that's where you can join. There are 2 levels. I'm sure we've explained that before, but in case you don't know, there's just 2 levels. The Luxee Committee level, which is the highest level, you get all the live streams. So like literally you can watch right away. Whereas the Luxee Crew, it's a delayed telecast. And on top of that, although I don't have it in here, but there will be members. There are oldest members. I think there will be members that will be reaching 36 months and will have new emojis added for their badges also.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, but that's where you can join the membership.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at some comments.
Yes. Let me close that.
Wow. I think 2025 just feels like it feels different. I don't know. It just feels like from a luxury perspective for me, it just feels different. But then again, we don't know what distractions will come, but it just feels different. Like I think the whole, at least for me, I think the expenses may still be large because they're still big purchases, right? Compared to the before. But it's less. It's not so, yeah, it's not like every month I want to buy stuff or bags that are like, YSL, Bottega. And I don't think I think I moved from there. So it's a bit more concentrated where the spend is a little larger. But then again, it feels more, I don't know, more like I have a purpose for it. So I'm not just buying for the sake of buying. So it took a few years to get here, definitely. And hopefully this year when the distractions come, I feel a little stronger. And hopefully for you too.
It's interesting you say that, because you would think that having had all the experience of luxury shopping all these years, that you would know what you're doing.
I know.
That's the thing, right? Like what is it that like you should know, right? You should know what really works for you and all that, but then you still succumb to the distractions, to the limited editions, or to the very exceptional offers that you never even thought about getting, but then if it's like that exceptional, you would not say no to, right? And sometimes exceptional doesn't mean like, oh, it's va va boom, this leather, that leather. It could just be a very iconic combo, like black and gold or black and palladium. It's just like something so classic you can't say no to. But again, do you need it? Are you going to use it? Is it you? I mean,
Be a little wiser at making the decision, I guess. Maybe it's still hard. It doesn't get easier. It just gets a little bit, you get wiser of taking your time. That's as best as it can be.
Yes.
I don't know. Okay, let's pull one. Oh, Chris Tan, let's pull this one. My goals in 2025: focus on gratitude by acknowledging the positive in each day. Stay committed to daily habits that align with your values. Yes.
Yes to that. Here, something from Miles. I feel like the neutral Birkin 25s are really hard to come by in the last couple years. Mine took almost 2 years, and that's me intense on the journey. Yes.
Yeah. I'm
the whole
faltering. I'm
scene,
like, I can't be intense anymore. I'm so tired.
the whole scene about this, like, you know, because the pandemic happened, and then, you know, there was also pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic, I had no idea, but you could only hear from whatever people say. During the pandemic and then post-pandemic, definitely the whole pattern has changed. I'm not after a Birkin, but I definitely feel like the offers have been, well, I again, like, I didn't have an offer last year, which is, it leads me to think that it's so much harder to obtain, because either there's just more competition with the newer crowd coming in, and there's nothing wrong with that, but then it just makes everyone's experience much more different and much more intense, right? And so it's up to you to whether you want to continue doing that or not, or just stick with the course, but it's just that much more challenging. And
Mm.
because the resale market it's getting even more reasonable as we speak, because the price increase and just availability, especially depending on where you're finding that resale market, it makes sense sometimes. In the past, I would never really say that, because I'm not really into pre-loved. But then I've seen some pre-loved in Asia, and they're like new, basically. So if I feel that way, they're really nice bags, you know, because I'm super
Yeah.
picky. For the love of bags, I say hold on to your bags. Resale market is low. Eventually, it will be back. Yes, I think we said that last year too. So this year, I don't feel like it's really changed that much from last year either.
Vivi. Vivi saying, I just bought many pieces from the LV Murakami line. Congrats. Here I am having the FOMO feeling a little bit, but I'm also really happy for you. It was just insane. Okay. Like, the best piece is definitely the Nano Speedy, whether it's black or white.
Yes.
It's seen a few unboxings of it and it looks good. It looks really, really good. So tough. No.
I have to say, because I was only able to see I think from our one the one live stream we did before the end of year, and then you had some pictures, but they were not like pictures of the bags, they were just like pictures of like product pictures. I have to say, after seeing actual pictures on Instagram of the products that came out, the black definitely is a little bit more underwhelming. I definitely do think,
White
after seeing the
looks really good,
pictures,
right?
yeah, the
Yeah.
white looks very good. I also want to pull
Yeah.
out this comment because I feel the same way. For me, I only have so much space in my closet. Julie, I can't buy everything. It's a lot of work to rearrange stuff when I get something new. So for me, it's not an epiphany, not necessarily, but in a way it is, because today, that's why I added decluttering in my slide, because I was thinking, you know, I always say that I need to, you know, like, declutter more, and like I need to really go through my clothes and just like organize. But I think organizing is not the problem here. The problem is I just have too much stuff. And it's not necessarily the luxury stuff for me, because you know, my room has everything I own, right? So it's mixed in with the luxury and the non-luxury and everything in between. And that's makes it a lot. I feel like when I buy luxury, I'm so much more considerate and I'm so much more careful with my purchase decisions. Granted, it's not always been perfect, but I'm much more careful. Whereas when I buy the non-luxury stuff, I'm so much more liberal and I can buy a heap amount at once. And like all of that stuff, you have to add it on top of what you already have. Therefore, there's already no space. Now you're just making it even more no space. And I think that is the issue, is that I need to cut down on the non-luxury stuff, because luxury, it's not like I can buy that much every year. You know, like I have 2 bag wish lists. I have no jewelry wish list this year. Like that's not going to take up that much space, basically, even if I added all those things. But it's the non-luxury that I keep adding and adding, because that's so easy to add when they don't cost the same. When they're like 1/10, 1/20th of the price of a luxury item, it's so much easier to buy in bulk. And so I think that's why I said not only do I have to declutter, but I should not buy it anymore unless I need it. Unless I need it. And I don't need it. That is it.
I like that. Oh, vision boards. Manifesting Things has a vision board. Says it works. Okay. What do you do?
Should try it. Should all do it. We should all do it.
I think I'll do it, but I don't want to spend money on a vision board. I was just thinking maybe I'll just take one of those old boxes. I'll cut up something. I'll do like a real DIY cheapo vision board, and then stick it somewhere and test it out.
You can also,
the only thing I'll buy is ink for my printer so that I can print out those pictures.
But I was, even if you don't want to like, buy a board or whatever, you could also just do a collage on your phone and have that as your background picture, like your wallpaper or your wallpaper on your computer, whatever. Like it's still something that you see every day, right? The moment you open your computer, laptop, or your phone, whatever, that's what you see, and just kind of just reminds you of, which makes me think I should just put my picture of my white bag in my or my white bag, my white outfit with my white bag as my wallpaper on my phone, and just be like staring at that. I'm like, okay, this is what I need to concentrate this year. Everything not black.
Okay, let's see. Oh, Vivi got the scarf. They had the clay. Oh, you had the clay. Oh my gosh.
That's hard to get.
That is hard to get. Yeah. Passport cover, toiletry bag on pre-order. Hope they don't cancel. Yeah. Yeah.
Joe says, I don't have a vision board, but I carry my wish list and budget plan. Your budget plan in the phone notes. Yes. Whatever works for you.
Yeah. Joe's really good at following her plan. I'm not. So maybe
You're
I do
so
need
organized,
visuals.
Joe. I'm like, I realize that like I can be organized only for very like certain things. Everything else, I'm not organized. Oh, wow. Okay. You're getting praises from your friends here. Your alcohol tolerance.
I'm not sure that's good praise, but yeah, it's pretty formidable. Yeah, you're right. I'm like,
no,
I don't like it.
So hard for
like,
you.
You know, me, if I'm gonna drink, like if I'm gonna have my one drink, I'm gonna make it a good drink. Like if you don't give me some weako drink, I'm like, come on. I've already limited myself to one. And you give me this like soda juice. Like, get out of my face, okay? Because I'm not dealing with this.
I could see why this is such a huge goal for you, because when I see it, I'm like, that's not hard, because obviously because I don't drink. But it's the same as I guess some things will be a lot harder for me because I love doing it, right? Like shopping for me, it's so easy. I love just window shopping, but that's the danger. When you window shop, you're also more likely to actually shop, right? Because you always see something you love, and it's up to your impulse, up to your own not letting your impulses win, and
Yeah.
how strong you are with it.
I like my drink. I like a good nice drink. But yeah, difficult one, but it's going. And now it's sort of, I've unwind the habit already. Like I don't even feel like it. So it'll take, I think it takes, it takes, what's that word that they say? It takes 1,000 times. You need to do something 1,000 times before you become a habit. So I'm pretty sure I've done it 1,000 times. That's why it's a habit. So now you need to
Yeah.
unwind it, and you have to mentally unwind things, and it takes
Yes.
time. So you cannot expect, hey, I'm gonna do it, and then suddenly it works. Because I remember when I start for this, so we're talking about drinking, whatever it is, right? I remember the first week I decided I'm not gonna do it. It was hard, like, because it became a habit. Every night after that, I'll just come out, I'm like, oh, the first night was like, something's missing, huh? It's like you're not brushing your teeth, like something's missing. What am I doing? Oh my gosh. And then I decided to just pop the soda and drink. I was like, oh, yeah. So it's like your brain is so wired to the
Yeah.
habit that unwinding it, wow, it's so hard. So then it took about, I think, a solid 2-3 weeks for me to go like, oh, okay, I'm used to this. I'm used to like forgetting about it. So even like that's why they say, like, people who smoke, which I did, it's really hard, because if it's not a push for any reason, it's not a hard reason, it's really challenging, right? It's not a real hard knock, like you health scare or something happened to you, like a real hard knock where it's just a desire to stop. It's really hard. It's really hard to unwind it in your head.
Right. Especially when it comes to, I mean, it's kind of like coffee, right? It's an addictive substance. Alcohol is kind of addictive too, because it makes you feel good. Makes you feel a little like buzz,
Little buzz, little relax. So yeah, coffee
Yeah.
is actually hard. If you ask yourself, hey, I don't want to drink coffee every day.
Oh, there's no way. I drink coffee every day, but only one.
Yeah, only one. So if you say, hey, I
Yeah.
just want to drink coffee when I go out to a cafe. So if you're at home, you don't drink coffee because you want to reduce your caffeine. So you wake up in the morning and you want to start your day. It's like something is missing, huh? I'll drink hot chocolate.
No, it's not the
You need
same.
to, yeah, it's so difficult, right? And it's not, and it's not it's not like a hard stop. Like suddenly say you're allergic to caffeine, then it's you just can't. But it's a want. It's like you wanna fix something. It's a goal. Wow, super hard, super hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It's kind of like the same as me. I mean, I have many faults too. Like, I don't go to bed consistently. I go to bed so late, and it's never consistent. Like, how do I change that? I'm just so wired at night. And I've always wanted to change my sleeping habit, but I knew that I always fail. Like, I would start doing something and it would work for the first week, and then it would not work again, and it just never works. So I'm like so tired of failing that I decided to change my goal to just exercise. Um, yeah, like
Oh, like that's so funny. That is so funny because when I talk about my goals 2025,
yeah.
there's no talk about budget because I'm so sick of failing about it. I'm not talking about it anymore.
Right. It's true.
Do
It's so
something
true
else.
because these goals, they're self-made, okay? They're made by you. So like, if you fail yourself. But at the same time, it sucks to fail, no one wants to fail. Therefore, you just don't make that goal. You just change your goal. Like, I think it's nice to have things that you can achieve, but it still work. Like, you
Mm,
still need to work on it, but you know that you can achieve. It makes it much more rewarding, and you look forward to
yeah.
doing those more, at least.
Sick of failing. I like that. Holly just mentioned this. You have to be aware of why you do things.
Mm,
I think that's why habit changing is very difficult.
yeah.
So, say like caffeine or smoking or alcohol, anything that's addictive, even shopping, right?
Yes.
you can say, I don't want to shop. I want to reduce shopping. I don't want to smoke. I want to reduce smoking. I want to, everything. But it's easy to say, but if you don't have a real purpose of what you're doing it for, and if that purpose is meaningful for you, sure fail. So for me, my drinking, it was more of like, I'm not, firstly, I keep saying I'm drinking, I'm like alcoholic. Okay, no, I'm not. Just put it out there. I'm not. It's just that I figured out, it's like I suddenly said, hey, this thing that I'm doing, or this new habit that I have created for myself, is not bringing value to my life. In sense, it's actually deteriorating something. And I took time to realize that, because you don't, next day, wow, it's not bringing, no, it took a little time for me to wake up in the morning saying, hey, I'm not feeling that great. I could brush it off, right? Because I enjoyed the daily little tip at night was making me feel good. So the value was tipped on this side. Then, but over time, I could see it tipping this way, where I feel like there's more value to me waking up bright and early in the morning, or feeling not so lethargic. So it took a bit of time. And then that's where I said, hey, I think I need to make changes. So yeah, like you say, I need to be aware of why I am doing what I'm doing, because the scale tipped. This is not fun anymore. This thing is actually more of value, and I have more priorities here. I feel better on this side. So being aware is one thing, but actually putting it into practice is really hard. It's like, oh my God, actually, this is fun. This was fun. This side was fun. Then it's that constant reminder of, hey, actually this side, if you work a little harder, not do what you're doing now, you work a little harder, you're going to see the value coming on this side. So yeah.
It's also partly the reason why, like, knowing the why is important, like, because that is the why will always give you motivation to do it, because it's hard to self-motivate. Come on, nobody likes to self-motivate. It's hard. You might be self-motivated one day, and then the next you're no longer, you're back at square one, or it feels that way, which is why I gave like like the two last kind of fun goal that I added, the non-budget budget. It's not really a budget. It really wouldn't even amount to that much if I don't follow it. But I just thought, the idea of me resisting shopping every time I add stuff to my cart, I know it will add up. I know, because it's otherwise money that I would have spent throughout the year here, or I could just save all of that. And I remember how much more I enjoyed shopping in Hong Kong, or just spending money in Hong Kong every day, like, eating out. The experience and the memories from just that event alone is going to stay with me forever. Whereas if it's a day-to-day, like, throughout the year, not to say that it's bad to buy things for yourself, never. But what I mean is the value I'm getting from that one trip versus the everyday mundane shopping, whatever, like just sometimes useless shopping because I'm buying things I already own, that doesn't give me value, whereas this gives me so much more value. Therefore, it's like looking forward to that event. And therefore, if you just resist that impulse every time, which adds up every day, the why becomes, then you have something to look forward to that is so much more rewarding. And that is the big trip, whatever trip you're going to plan, right? So yeah, I feel like having this last like Hong Kong experience really just like, even though maybe it's best that it came at the end of the year, because it just kind of like made me realize so many things. Not only is, shopping in Asia so much more fun, but it's just the experience itself is so drastic from Canada. And again, it's the company, like I said, it's everything. It's everything. And then it just makes up the whole experience. So although it will always feel like, yeah, it's just one trip, and trips are finite, you can't stay there forever. Of course, they're the best memories, but it's that thing you're looking forward to, right? So that's motivation in itself, I feel. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
From Clara. Nope, I've been so good. Video later on why less Hermes already filmed and need to edit. So Clara's doing really well. And check out her video later. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I didn't do so well. I already told Clara, I'm like, I didn't do so well.
Speaking of Clara, I was while I was making my coffee this morning, I was contemplating, you know, like, maybe this is the year that I will let go of my Kelly 25 goal on goal. As I was making my coffee, Clara popped into my head, like, yeah, because Clara, yeah, she sold all her bag, like all her Birkin. She's a Kelly girl. So I can be just a Birkin girl. I was having this conversation in my head, and you definitely popped up in my head, Clara. You're like, because you decided to just be a Kelly girl, like it's okay. Because I think my FOMO on letting go my Kelly bag is, I mean, I'm not using it, but it's also the feeling of, oh, I don't have a Kelly. But then again, I don't use it. So maybe I should just stay Birkin all the way. Anyway, just the
you know yourself.
You didn't pop into my head today, Clara, of what you did. You inspired me.
But you know, like, I also feel like every time you bring it up, we also deter you because we feel bad, you know, we feel bad for you, but we're not you. That's the problem. Like, you know yourself best. You know, and you've been mentioning it every time, like, it just is a sign. It's a sign that you really...
It's a sign. I saw the sign. And that's definitely a sign because a reseller texted me this morning like, okay, you're going to sell your bag. And I'm like... Because I did check. Obviously, I know, which is why I know the value of my bag. And it's literally, if I want the money, it's there. So I got to know why. Why am I selling this bag? Right? Why am I... Is it just annoying me sitting in the background, or do I want the money for something else? Like maybe the big family trip that I want to do this year. Who knows? But I have to know why I want to let go of this thing, because otherwise I'm going to buy all kinds of random things as well. And then I'm going to look back and say, oh man, I should have sold this bag. Oh my God. Anyway. Holly's like, definitely just a Birkin girl, just own it. I know that's the FOMO, you know, there's a FOMO of not fear of missing out. Fear is not even FOMO. Is it FOMO?
It's kind of FOMO.
It's kind of FOMO-ish. Like, yeah, like, oh man, if I don't have it anymore, am I gonna miss it? The regret, blah blah blah, and all of that.
I feel like you miss the color more than anything, though.
True. So if I get a Birkin in gold, you know what? I think when the Birkin in gold comes, yeah, I don't see a need. I don't see a need having two.
Question from Vivi. What do you think of the mini her bag? Looks cute, easier to use. Isn't it worth buying? You haven't seen it? It's a crossbody her bag. It's tiny and it's canvas with a leather trims. It's all over social media, actually. I don't know if it's on...
Oh!
My first impression, although that's just my first impression because I didn't really put that much thought into it, but Vivi, that's what I think. I think not that cute and not worth buying. That's what I think. I just feel like there are just some bags that are not supposed to get more mini than they are. You know what I mean? Like the her bag is not mini. The smallest size is a 31, right? I think. So it's a pretty big bag. But like I feel like that's how this bag is supposed to be. Whereas the mini just looks kind of like they're just trying so hard to be a bag. The her bag already, I feel like it's a love-hate relationship with it for most people. So unless that's what you're going for, like you just like the her bag vibe, but you can't get you can't get along with how fidgety it is and how hard it is to get in and out of it, and therefore you just want a mini version of it, and you love crossbody, because otherwise I feel like it's such a, like, they're just trying so hard to churn out another product that I just feel like should not have existed. That's how I feel about it. And that's pretty strong coming from, like, I'm a big fan of Hermes in fact, but like, I just feel like some things shouldn't have been made. Like, they're just, that one's just like, what are they doing?
Some things shouldn't have been made. People shouldn't be cloned. Things shouldn't be cloned. Some, like the herb bag, shouldn't be made.
The her bag, you know, the regular size, I feel like they have their market for sure. I'm not a fan of it, but like there's always someone who will like it, and I feel like it should be that way only. And maybe that's me being very conservative with design, but like I just don't see the mini. I just don't see why the mini is okay. In case people don't know what I'm talking about, let me try to find pictures.
The
It's
only
like
thing I see is
ridiculous.
that they removed the top handle of the. They removed the little handle of the on the her bag, mini her bag.
Yes.
So it kind of looks like the Kelly Messenger, doesn't it?
It
Wait,
just
am I
looks like a cheap bag. And why is it like, like I feel like it should be very expensive. It would be probably. Okay, here. I'm just gonna go to Purse Bob. I think they have a I just cannot stand it. I don't know why. Here, okay, let me share my screen. I just feel like, why? It's this. It's so simple. It just looks like a pouch with some straps, and I don't know. I don't like it. It looks so cheap, okay? I said it. It's so cheap looking, and I like this way better. This is the regular size. At least it has a top handle, and it looks more, it's like a weekend bag, I feel, this one. Whereas this, I just don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's neither here nor there.
Well, it's not too expensive. So Joe's putting up the price, USD 2.8 thousand.
I think like the amount is not big, but I just don't think it's worth 2,500. Like, you can buy,
For sure.
I don't know, like you can buy I don't know, buy a Speedy Nano, something like that. I don't know, buy something else with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just
Buy the Evelyn.
Yeah, there you go. That's my opinion. It might be a bit harsh though, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Like, you're fine. It's fine if you guys like. There are plenty of things I like you guys don't like. So don't take my word for it. It's not doesn't mean anything to you if it doesn't apply to you. You know what I mean? That's why I
This
say you
year,
know yourself best.
This year, the luxury live show is going to be unpopular opinions all year round. So that we will stop ourselves from distractions. So unpopular opinion, no. Everything is no. We should start a monthly series. Unpopular opinions, no. Everything is no.
It depends. I still like a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of things that I like that I know a lot of people do not like. So, I mean, for what it's worth, it's just what counts for you, right? Like, you asked for my opinion, though I gave it.
Let's see. I mean, I do agree with Joe on this, right? I mean, if you wanna, the price is not, it's expensive still, huh? So let's just not talk about expensive or cheap, but it's manageable. That if you want to give it a go, it doesn't chop your arm off. So still an okay experiment.
I mean, similar. I think Miss Margie. Any thoughts on the mini her bag and mini garden party? I mean, I guess because all these are new releases. I'm pretty sure the mini garden party. I didn't try, but I saw it in Hong Kong. Right? I was like, wow, it's very small, and
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
really
like. I
tiny
mean,
like this.
yeah, I didn't like it. I How should I say it? Like I just when I looked at it, I'm like, I just don't think of Hermes. Like, does that make sense? I feel like such a simple tote. There are plenty outside of any brands that you should be able to buy from that are nicer or that are just as cute. Of course, if you're a diehard Hermes fan, you'll like anything no matter what, then of course go for it, right? Like my opinion is just my opinion. I think for me, it's just there are just certain things that I'm not into and that I don't buy. I must admit, like I didn't like the Evelyn for the longest time, and I tried it in Hermes in Hong Kong recently, and I was warming up to it, but I still didn't love it because the version they made me try was you know, the one with the short handle, the new one with the short leather handle, but then the bag itself is canvas with leather trims. And I was like not into it. It just looks so weird. But for some reason, I think because I keep seeing it and the idea of the mini Evelyn, I started liking it, but the other version, the regular version. So, you know, although I didn't like the mini Evelyn for the longest time, I also started changing my mind. So maybe I don't know. I don't know if I'll change my mind about these two, but like my first impression is I don't see the value in them, and I didn't like them that much.
Pull some unpopular opinions. Julie, my unpopular opinion. Just because a brand makes something mini,
Yes.
it doesn't make it worth it. Yes,
I
agree.
I just feel like those
Popular
2 bags should
opinion,
not have
not
been made more
unpopular.
mini. Those 2 bags are fine the sizes they are, and the mini versions just makes it look ridiculous. That's how I feel.
Yeah, the garden party actually looks a little bit like it's like the arms are no, not arms, sorry. The handles are like too long. The straps are a little too, it doesn't look, yeah, it's cute, but at the same time, something's not right with it. Plus it's really small. I don't know.
I also feel like because the garden party, it's already an open style, there's only 1 button closure, right? As it is, the bigger size, there's just about enough depth so that your things don't fall out and spill out, but the mini size is this short. Oh my gosh, things are just so
Even the
easy
phone
to
will stick
come out.
out.
It's pretty small, I remember. I mean, I don't know if it's as tall as the phone even, if maybe similar to the phone size. It just didn't make sense design-wise. They couldn't be more innovative than just shrinking it, like, that's in a sense, you can say that the Mini Kelly is a ridiculous bag too, because it's true. It's true that the Mini Kelly is also just as ridiculous. It fits nothing. It's shrunken to like this size, which you know hardly fits anything. I feel like I'm making the same argument, but I maybe because the Mini Kelly I've seen it so much, I've accepted it. Whereas these two are new, so I haven't accepted it yet. Which is why I said, I don't know, talk to me again in like year end. I'll see if I change my mind. But so far, I feel like I'm not into it.
Hmm. I see this. This is things from me, from Lee. Hi, how are you liking your new Onitsuka Tiger sneakers, Cat? I got my first pair that just arrived. Thanks for introducing me to the brand. Oh, I love it. I got mine in silver and I love it so much that I'm contemplating getting one plain white one because it is my kind of shoe. Very flat. It has a low profile. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have cushion. It does, but you could add your own. But I like the fact that it has a wider front, low profile. It's not like my Converse, because Converse they're the same. They're low profile, but the Converse shoes that I have, which I love, is a little slippery. So when it's raining, it doesn't have much of a grip, so it's kind of dangerous. Onitsuka at least has a little bit more grip. So yeah, I love. I love them so much. I love my silver shoes. But I think I need to get a plain one so that I can wear it more often.
Just going through some more of the comments.
Oh, did I pass on I'm right at the bottom. Did I pass on the Constance Elan? Yes, I did. I got sort of asked if I would be interested in it. I think the Constant Elan is very nice, and I do like, it would add variety to my collection, but I don't actually like the new design. It is long and single compartment. I think the bag is small enough that even though I don't like a double compartment bag, but I think that bag needs a double compartment because it's so short. So I think the new ones come with a single compartment. So yeah, I passed on it. I prefer it to have a bit more space because it can be like a little baguette, right? If I want to spend that money, I'll still go and get the East-West Pochette Matisse from LV, which I think is a good size. It can actually expand quite a bit. Yeah, single compartment for the new ones.
Oh my gosh, Clara, I do the same thing. I watch my YouTube while I'm on walking on the treadmill, but I can't believe you're doing that at 10 p.m. Oh my gosh, it's already 10 p.m. Okay, that means we have our 2-hour mark. But I was just going through, just like this last comment I was going through. It's true though, because I met up with Clara just recently, and it's kind of amazing that when you're with a friend, you don't seem to see time pass. Although we did quite a few loops, but we ended up doing 12,000 steps that day. And it's so true that I normally don't do that much steps in Canada. Normally, if I'm on my own driving everywhere, you only do that in Asia. You don't do that kind of steps. And so here, I feel like you really have to make the effort to exercise. It's hard to exercise here. It's time consuming because it feels mundane. It's not something that you're doing while socializing or just going from A to B because you have to go everywhere by foot. It's like you have to drive everywhere. It's always raining. So it's more effort. But yeah, it's so true. It's a different type of challenge. Anyway. All right. Wow. The 2-hour went by so quickly. I didn't even go through all the comments. Hope I didn't miss anything. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, guys. Happy New Year again. We're officially back, and yeah, we have another show tomorrow with the members. So we'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Yep. Bye.